Back with us on the SportsMax Zone, the West Indies warmed up for the three-match ODI series against Bangladesh with a 50-over, one-innings intra-squad match in Dhaka earlier on this Monday. The team batting posted 256 for 9 from their 50 overs. Joshua Silva top scoring with 56 from 68 deliveries. Powell, he made 49 from 40. Sunil Ambris, 39 in a 62-run opening stand with the Silva. Nkrumah Bonner, 21. Jamar Hamilton, 20. Andre McCarthy, 19. And Elzari Joseph, 18 not out. All got into double figures. Raymond Reefer and Akil Hussain claimed 2 wickets each. Now the Caribbean men will face Bangladesh in 3 ODIs on January 20, 22 and 25. Please note that the series starts Tuesday night Caribbean time. Fazeer Mohammed is with us, and we've been talking a lot about the West Indies in Bangladesh since last week because we have to, and because of the circumstances surrounding this particular tour, what with the players selected and the prevailing conditions in Bangladesh. Fazeer, is it ever wise to draw any conclusion from the results or the productivity, better word, the productivity in intra-squad matches on tour?
Not too much, although you can't just simply say, well, they're completely irrelevant. I think you want to ensure that players are getting familiar with bat on ball once again. They're enjoying the feel of playing the game, even if it's a rather relaxed setting of an intra-squad match, because as much as you try to have that mental framework of a competitive atmosphere, it isn't really, but at least it's an opportunity to test your skills, get the blood flowing again, playing in something similar to match conditions, and looking to get some runs under your belt, looking to get a good spell in, feeling the rhythm, because like with any other sport, it's very much a rhythm game, so that you just want to go through the motions and feel good about a good day's cricket. And it's good when players get runs and get wickets, but it doesn't automatically translate into one or the other going into a fully competitive situation.
Fazeer, one of the things I haven't heard spoken about, even as we discuss this series in a bubble, is how the conditions prevents the players from forming into the cliques that they would have been used to on previous cricket getaways, even from their days as youth cricketers, and how the restriction on movement prevents players from, when they get free time, going away to consort with people who are not part of the squad, well, spending all their downtime with people not in the squad, and then being cliquish when they're in the bubble. Doesn't this bubble situation give chemistry and team spirit a greater chance to flourish than under normal circumstances for the reasons I just mentioned?
Yes, it can, if it's used well and if it's used properly by team management, and to really encourage the players to get to know one another, rather than the trainees hanging around together, the Bajans, likewise Jamaicans, the Islanders, and so on. And you see that every time. Whenever you look up in a normal situation at an international match when the West Indies are playing, you'd invariably see players from their own territories hanging around together. That seems almost natural. But that's where the team management comes in. That is where you want to see your coach, your captain, really encouraging the players to really get to know each other better, to really engage with them. Long time ago, of course, when it was a situation of 2 players per room rather than 1 per room, as it has been now for the last 15 or 20 years, players would be matched up from different territories, maybe different roles in the team, so that they would learn to work with each other and get along. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But at the end of the day, it's appreciating that, look, these are unusual circumstances. Everyone expects us to be hammered in Bangladesh. Let's get together. Let's work together for the cause of the team, for our own careers, for our own aspirations. It might be successful, it might not be, but at the end of it all, you'd want to see these players grow as individuals and really enhance their careers when this is all over.
And Fazeer, for those around the Caribbean who know Jason Mohammed only through dispatches they would have read on games he would have played in the regional competition for TNT, what kind of guy is he? In real terms, what kind of leadership and how will he exert that leadership on this team in Bangladesh, you think, based on how you know him to be?
Well, it's an interesting one because Jason Mohammed has been groomed for leadership from the time he was a teenager. He was captain of the Trinidad and Tobago under-15 team, moving up to the under-19 levels, and he was groomed in that way for leadership. He has had his disciplinary issues. There was a famous bust-up in local cricket with an umpire, and it was felt that he got off easily because of his reputation already as an emerging talent, as a well-established national player, and it was, he was really treated with kid gloves at the time. But he is that type of dynamic player. Whether or not he can bring all of that to bear in a regional context, which we all know to be very different, with players from different territories, maybe different priorities, different ways of being motivated, that is going to be the challenge for him. But I think he's been around enough in the regional game, whether in the first class game, 50 over at 18 level, to really properly understand what it's all about. And I would expect that even if he may not be the most inspirational leader in the world, he'll be someone who the players recognize that is in the same boat as themselves. Sometimes when you recognize your captain is trying to make a name for himself like everybody else, it almost galvanizes you for us to all work together because we're rowing in the same direction.
Excellent. Good job, Fazeer. Thank you very much. All the best to you.
Take care.
Fazeer Mohammed there. Lance, the question of Jason Mohammed and his temperament, his style, and the standing that he already has and that he could enhance when this series is done is an important one, because cricket, like many other sport or every other sport where you have a captain, whether a titular leader or a leader in practice, the fact is that sometimes you're looking to your captain to help you solve problems. And the question is Jason Mohammed of the kind that the players can look to him and reasonably expect him to help them solve a problem when they're in the field?
I think they can. He has a good cricket brain, and as Fazeer just mentioned, he had been groomed from his teenage years for leadership on a cricket field. He was Leon Johnson's vice captain to the Under-19 World Cup back, I think, in 2006. And he's a steady individual, and I think based on his temperament and so on, I think he's a reasonably good leader. The problem for the West Indies in this series is that they're so inexperienced, because we were doing some checks, George, and when you add all the caps for the entire West Indies 15-man squad, they together have played far fewer one-day internationals than Shakib Al Hassan, the Bangladeshi star all-rounder who is currently #1 in the world. So that tells you about the experience of the two teams, vastly different, and the Bangladeshis at home will go into this series as huge favourites, really.
West Indies playing cards with the dominoes face up. Let's see what they can do as the Bangladeshis lie in wait at home. All right, stay with us on the SportsMax Zone. After the break, basketball, the Slovenian Luka Doncic eclipsed Michael Jordan. In what matrix, you may ask? Well, stay with us. After the break, I'll tell you.